Good morning, people. So, as you can guess from my voice, it's morning once again. Every morning I come here, every morning I work and I do certain things. And as you can see, my roof is basically 99% done. I did one mistake. To be honest, I miscount by half of the sheet, which is ridiculous. That's how much we are missing. So, well, apparently it's Sunday morning, nobody works, which means I cannot do anything more because all my metal sheeting is complete. It's finished. Basically, I counted how much I need this corner, this top ones. So on Monday morning, basically tomorrow, we are gonna go to the chalet and gonna buy a material that we are missing. In the same time, we're gonna take one sheet for the roof and we're gonna take all the top corners. And you probably wanna see how it looks. Well, it looks good. Let me show you. And that's what we are looking for right now in this situation. As you can see, all the corners, everything is kind of finished. As I said, we need those top covers, those corner covers for all the joints that all the roofs are connecting to each other. As you can see, there's like a gap, so we need to fill this basically with the same corners as it goes on the wall corners. So it's gonna be way flatter and just gonna go straight. So, and that's what we are currently right now. And because it's basically finished with the materials that I had, we used everything. So I have another project, another announcement, which is going to be pretty small, but also it's kind of connected with the house. We need a small shed for gardening tools and for some firewood, actually, to keep warm. So I just purchased some materials. For materials, I said, we have extra of tarps. This one is windproof, this one waterproof and windproof. I purchased those metal poles that are going straight into the ground. So I have those 4 of them, actually. Obviously some tools, some screws, and some screws for the past, how much I had extra. So obviously we have some firewood because we have also cleaned this glass garden over there. We placed all the firewood here, and in a future time we also gonna have some more firewood because we're gonna have a actual fireplace inside the house. And also we need some firewood to have if you're gonna cook, something like a shashlik or things for outdoor purposes and having some fun. For that reason, I have decided to build a small shed, which is going to be 1.5 by 3 meters. And this is going to be like a pretty small project. First things first, we're gonna drill 4 poles. We're gonna measure everything nice and square and level, So yeah, let's get to the job and gonna see how it's going on. As you saw in the previous episodes, we cleaned up the entire place. We separated bad birds from the good birds, and basically all the lumber that we still can use for indoors or for some kind of structure that is pretty much important. It doesn't have any barks like insects or anything else, so we have quite a lot, and we're gonna use it from there to build our shed. So first things first, obviously we need to cut a bit different sizes of lumber. So for the base we need a 10 centimeter a tall whole base. So those blanks that we have, those are 5 by 20, so we're basically gonna pre-cut it in half. It's going to be around 9 and 9.8, 9.9, basically minus the cut itself. So, but that's not big deal. The minimum of that is at least 9 centimeters. That should be plenty enough to do the structure. And right now I'm gonna pre-cut at least one blank into a half. Splitted those two in like one piece into two pieces, and right now, as you can see, those are basically 10 by 5, and we made 2 of those, and those are going to be for the base perimeter, and inside like cross beams, so we're gonna use those. I have a quick tip for you guys. In my case, I forgot my square, which is basically a ruler that has 90 angle and 45 or like 180 or whatever, you know. So just in case you have saw and you're like typical meter, at least, you know, or at least you don't have a saw, you have like a electric one, you know, and you have one of these meters. I'm not gonna say the brand, but you know those, and you basically, when you unfold them, if it's brand new, if it's used, it's not really gonna work. If it's used less, you know, so you can use it. As you can flip it, it usually clicks itself into a 90 right there, so you can use it. Really nice flat surface, at least for, you know, for a bad situation you can use it. It always mostly flips at 90 degree, so if it's not really important to have exactly, you know, 1 or 2 millimeters off, that will work. Or you can use your saw. Most of the saws nowadays has basically integrated like by this level, by not your sharp edge level, it's always usually has 90 degrees right here. Let me show you, for example. So if I flip my ruler right now, you know, it's 90, yeah. So, and if we are gonna do it like, as you can see, when it's coming apart like this, it basically shows 90 degrees. Also, what it has, usually it has a 45 also right here. So if you're gonna put something by your lumber, you can flip it like this, and then you will have a nice 45 off 1 degree, you know. It could be, depends how you're cutting. If you're precise, you can cut it really good. There's gonna be no problem of building. We have cut it 3-meter long beams, and I have cut it like 1 centimeter too short, so I made 138 centimeters, meter and 38 centimeters in wide and 3 meters long. So now we're gonna screw all these together into one piece. have the base, and right now what we need to do, we actually need to put like cross boards just to make sure it's nice and square. It's not, you know, rectangular or any kind of that we don't want. So first things first, we have to measure these diagonals or crosses from corner to a different corner. Basically from here to here, it has to be the same measurement as it from there to here. So you make those measurements, you push it around or wiggle it how you need, and then you secure it at least few corners with some kind of boards so it's fixed in place, and then you don't have any problem when you have to build like walls that is not straight. Well, it's always going to be straight. You have to make sure this and these ones, basically an X, has to be same measurements on a different one. As you saw, we finished drilling those poles. Right now I'm gonna install 4 for the extra supporting beams. So basically it's going to be a full floor frame, and we're gonna cover it with a Creed oil. I think we have some left, so we're gonna use that. So for the poles, as you saw, everything is level. It looks a bit not, but we need to flat out the ground, and we painting them extra with a special metal paint. So I'm gonna finish the frame, gonna cover it with the Creed oil, and then we're gonna place it on those poles and then just drill it straight, connect everything together, and then we are actually having the full base for the shed. So I started covering with the Creed oil. I covered like the bottom and the like completely like outside the frame, and I didn't have enough, so probably Monday or Tuesday I'm gonna go and buy like a few liters of that, some more. But for now it's not going to be in our way to build like walls and structure, you know, for it, so that's kind of right. I'm gonna place probably some smaller boards that is not going to be in our way, those like crosses, so it's going to keep straight and everything. Right now I'm gonna start screw those into places, make it right, nice and tight, you know. Yeah, basically that's how much I already did until lunch. Right now I'm gonna go have some lunch, and yeah, see you after lunch. Our little friend. His name is Boris. I like to call him Boris. He's a good dog. Need a temporary blockage for him to get out. And yeah, so he's gonna stay with me at least till the evening. And after the lunch, that's what is we are dealing right now. I made the entire frame for the shed, as you can see. For this I bought some washers because my screw heads was too small for these holes, so 4 screws with washers on each of those 4 poles. I left slightly overlapping because this part is going to be besides our next building, so I have something else to do for that. Right now all these cross boards are just temporarily. We're gonna keep it temporarily for now. Tomorrow I'm gonna drive to other city, take the material for the house, those upper roof corners which we need, and also some of this metal sheeting. And yeah, basically this thing was built pretty fast, actually, like one day it looks like this from the poles. And tomorrow, as I said, we're gonna drive to other city, take some material, and later on, I think probably around over the lunch, we're gonna end up with our roof. And I don't know if there's gonna be time to come to this, but we will see. On Tuesday, definitely. On Monday, probably like 50-50. So we'll see about that. Once again, early in the morning, so it's Monday. We have a beautiful sunrise, and right now I'm gonna make some racks. Gonna take some stuff from the house, and later we're gonna drive to garage. There we're gonna put out some stuff that we don't need, you know, like unfold seats and so on, and basically gonna go pick it up, the material. Oh, look at the sky, fucking gorgeous. These mornings are getting way cooler than previously. It's not cold though, I think it's like +5 or something, and like freaking cool. I love sunrises, also sunsets of course, but sometimes your expectations exceed the limits of your imagination. Got back, dropped the 9 pieces of the metal sheeting we're gonna use for the shed, and we're gonna use for the house that we're missing half of it. We also purchased 24 pieces of those top corners that goes for the roof segments that are connecting into one on that line to cover it, so no water, everything goes off nice and smoothly. So have those, and yeah, now I'm gonna patch up the roof that we are missing only one, and gonna start mounting these corners. So that is patched, and I only now have to do all the trims for the corner tops because it's slightly windy today and there's not much time to do like the whole job. I want to leave it for like a full day to be nice as possible. So I'm gonna continue a bit with the shed. I'm gonna put all these cross holding boards inside, so that's not going to be in my way, and then I'm gonna shoot some windproof tarp around it, then the roof tarp, and basically gonna prepare it also for metal sheeting, which we took some extra from the store, so that's gonna go all for the shed. Of course we have 1/2 piece and 8 full pieces, so that should be plenty enough. It's 3 meters long by 1 meter and 13 centimeters, I think. And now we have all covered with the windproof tarp, also the waterproof tarp. As you can see, there's 2 layers because one is what it was not enough, so I placed 2. Now I need to just make the ends look good, and yeah, and basically I'm gonna wait for some OSB sheets. We're gonna put the same as we did for the house we're gonna put these boards, and then we're gonna place all the metal sheeting. For inside I'm gonna put like 5 centimeters of isolation, so it's going to be slightly warmer. It's gonna keep, you know, the moisture away and so on. So yeah. And now for this bad boy, it's time to come to the end, and I'm gonna start putting all the corners that we have purchased yesterday. That is what we are dealing now. So I made all of this one corner. I started to place over there and the other side like one piece, and now I'm gonna just go from the corners, from both corners up, and gonna meet all these toppings on the top on the last segment. I just did all of the toppings, all the corners, sides, side skirts, and basically everything is completed right now. I only need to pre-cut this little end over there, and that's it. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna finish this episode right here, because we basically finished the outside shell and we are now protected from the outside, either rain, cold, or well, at least rain and wind. So that's good. And as always, you can check my Instagram for latest updates, at least 3-4 days in front, so don't miss out. And yeah, thank you for watching.